High school small group leaders, man, I am so excited for this Sunday. First off, I hope that you had an incredible Mother's Day. If that was being celebrated for being a mom, if that was remembering your mom or celebrating any sort of mother figure in your life, I hope that it was a great Sunday. I hope that it was a great Sunday night off of student ministry. I know the student ministry is so good, but I also know being able to go home after church and just calling it a Sunday is also really wonderful. So this week we are back at it. We're going to do a kind of a 1 week on, 1 week off situation. Since Memorial Day, we are not meeting that weekend. Everybody's going to be getting out of town. Hopefully you get out of town as well and get a little vacation, a kind of long weekend away. Or if you're here, I hope you have another great Sunday getting to kick your feet up on your couch after church. But this Sunday, we are finally wrapping up our series on Jeremiah, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at the last paragraph of Jeremiah, and it seems like a really stupid way to finish a book, because it doesn't talk about Jeremiah at all, it doesn't talk about any of Jeremiah's teachings at all, and it just says, oh, right, and there was this king, well, former king, he's now in Babylon, and he was a prisoner, but now he's not, and that's the end of the book. And what we're going to be getting into is the question of, the problem of, it's often hard to think of how we trust other people and to relate that same idea to God. Because how we trust other people is other people gain our trust. They prove to us that they are trustworthy. And yet God doesn't often do that with us. It's very hard for us to point to specific moments and say, okay, well, at that point, God earned my trust. He did something that made me know I could trust him. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at this one paragraph and seeing how in Scripture, God fulfills he earns trust. He does the things that he says he's going to do, but it takes generations. And this is why Scripture is so important. And this is what that moment in Jeremiah is doing. Is Jeremiah is looking at that point and he's saying, remember what God told David 500 years earlier. God's actually doing the thing. And then we now on this side of history, we can look back and say, after that moment, 500 years later, God fulfills this promise through Jesus. You see, God earned trust by doing something over the span of 1,000 years. And so what we're really diving into is we can trust God because Scripture has cataloged all of these great, incredible moments where God proved himself, where God earns our trust. And we have to have Scripture because we can't see that. We can't see this record of earning trust over generations. So I'm really excited to see where these conversations go. This is going to be kind of a bigger thought for our high schoolers of looking at God as so much bigger than ourselves, because so often we want to personalize God and package him in a way that he's just for us. And he's somebody that we can personally relate to, and he is, but he is also so much bigger and so much grander than we can ever imagine. And so when he proves himself, it's over the course of centuries, not over the course of months. So that's where we're kind of headed with this. I wanted to let you know a couple of things. Our summer is about to get pretty crazy. Like I said, Memorial Day, we are not meeting, and so that is May 28th. Then the very next Sunday is June 4th, and we have a big vision night. So we are not going to have student ministry, and instead I would encourage you, we're going to push all of our students, and I want to push you as well to be at that vision night. It's going to be so important and so good. You'll want to be there, and if we can get a ton of students in there as well, you sitting with your small group, that would be so great, so that they can feel, all of our students can feel like it's their church just as much or even more than it's their parents' church. That's coming up on June 4th. Then we're going to do a big pop-up Sunday. You're going to hear all about that in the coming weeks. We're going to do that in our student ministry as well. Then we're going to cancel 1 week because of Father's Day. And then we are doing our big color wars again. Not to fret, I'm not making my own powder this year because that was such a disaster. So we're going to buy powder. It'll be a really, really great time. And we're going to come up with a few extra games to play with that. So that's the next couple of months. We're also going to be adding in some lake days, some park days, some stuff kind of thrown in, peppered throughout the mid of the week. We're going to be bringing back West Cup Wednesdays, except we won't be having West Cup because that will probably be getting modified. Man, I love the summer. It's chaos, it's so much fun, and it's so much time with students. And so the big thing that I want to encourage you to as you're thinking about this summer is how can you reach out to students? We have unbridled access to them because they don't have school. So how can you, over the summer, be involved with them even more? Maybe if you cut out of work an hour early and you say, hey, let's next week, we'll go and grab coffee. We'll go and grab ice cream. Let me take you and a couple other students out to dinner. All of that stuff financially, man, I'm going to reimburse you. Send me a receipt. I'll take care of it. But that's kind of the big things coming up. I don't know where my train of thought is headed. I'm excited for this summer. I'm excited to serve with you. I'm excited for this Sunday night. When I look forward on our calendar, thinking about what's coming up, man, I just think that something really cool is around the corner, and I'm excited to be a part of that with you. Guys, I love getting to serve with you, and I cannot wait to serve with you this Sunday night.